I'm Carl Azus. Welcome to a new week, a new month, and a new edition of CNN 10. We're going to start today by recapping a few events from the weekend. It was an eventful one in the U.S. Saturday night, on his 100th day in office, President Donald Trump attended a rally in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He was with a crowd that helped him win the 2016 election.
And I could not possibly be more thrilled than to be more than 100 miles away from Washington Swamp, spending my evening with all of you and with a much, much larger crowd and much better people, right?
President Trump has frequently taken aim at the media, accusing organizations of not covering him fairly, and he was contrasting the Harrisburg rally with the White House Correspondents' Dinner, typically an event where the president and the media trade jokes about each other and themselves. President Trump was the first U.S. leader since President Ronald Reagan not to attend a Correspondents' Dinner.
But the values that underpin this dinner have not changed. In fact, I think they've been reinforced. We are here to celebrate good journalism. We are here to celebrate the press, not the presidency.
Also on Saturday, tens of thousands turned out in Washington, D.C. for what organizers called the People's Climate March. There were demonstrations like this in several other U.S. cities and abroad. The Trump administration has worked to remove government regulations on fossil fuels, regulations put in place by the Obama administration. And marchers believe the Trump administration's policies will negatively impact the environment. President Trump has said he's committed to protecting the environment, but that greener policies must not come at the expense of jobs. 10-second trivia. How do most tornadoes rotate in the northern hemisphere? Clockwise, counterclockwise, latitudinally, or anticyclonically? In the northern hemisphere, most tornadoes, though not all of them, rotate counterclockwise. First responders don't yet know the full extent of damage caused by violent storms over the weekend. They have reported that several U.S. states were hit: Arkansas, Mississippi, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas. At least 8 people died and dozens were injured. Numerous water rescues had to be made in Missouri as widespread flooding led authorities to close 150 roads. Officials say several tornadoes touched down in Texas, leaving a path of destruction 15 miles wide. Homes and buildings, cars and trees were demolished. The system began lashing the Southwest and Midwest on Friday, and last night it was moving east, putting more than 30 million Americans under flash flood watches and warnings.
Technically, a tornado is just a violent rotating column of air coming out of the bottom of a thunderstorm. But it takes a lot to get that violently rotating column to come out. All you need for a tornado really to form, though, are thunderstorms and a jet stream. That jet stream's aloft, it makes the energy. If you have moisture at the surface, dry air, cold air pushing that moisture up, you can get a tornado to form in any state. Those days where all the ingredients combine, you get the humidity, you get the dry air, you get the jet stream, you get upper energy in the jet stream, you get winds turning as you go aloft. The higher you go, the winds actually change direction. That can cause storms. Those things all cause storms to exist and get big. Those are the ingredients that cause a big tornado day. So now the EF scale, enhanced Fujita scale, starts at 0, goes only to 5, and anything above 200 miles per hour is considered an EF5 tornado. If you have a 0, you're going to lose shingles. A 1, you may lose a couple of boards on the roof. A 2, you'll lose all the windows and maybe even a wall. A 3, EF3, you will lose a couple of walls on the outside, but there will still be a part of the home standing. An F4, most of the home is gone, but you'll still see the refrigerator, you'll still see a closet, and you'll still see the bathroom. An EF5, you cannot find the house. It's completely gone. We don't know how big that Fujita scale will be, how big that tornado will be, literally until after we look at the damage. We have this triangulation that no other country in the world, no other region in the world has. We have the Rocky Mountains to our west. We have the Gulf of Mexico in our south. We have Canada and very cold air masses coming down from the north. All of those things combined make Tornado Alley, typically the plains. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, all the way to Chicago, as far south as the southeast, including Georgia and Alabama. That's basically the new or the bigger Tornado Alley. The greatest threat of a tornado is being hit by something that the tornado is moving. If you're outside or if you're not protected inside, if you get hit by a 140-mile-per-hour 2x4, you're going to be killed. So you need to be inside on the lowest level, somewhere in the middle of the home, away from windows. When you hear the word warning and you hear your county, that's when you need to take cover. When you hear the word watch, that means something might happen today. Let's have a plan. When you hear the word warning, it's too late to make a plan. You need to already have the plan. Warning's the long word. It's the bad one.
Now for a report on a CNN hero. Shanti House is named for a Sanskrit word that means peace and tranquility. It was started by a woman who learned firsthand what it's like to be homeless, living on the streets of Boston, Massachusetts as a teenager. She eventually got her life back on track and returned to her native Israel to bring peace and tranquility to teens today.
עברתי חיים לא פשוטים, הרבה אלימות. פשוט התעללות מכל הבחינות. בגיל 16 מצאתי את עצמי חיה ברחובות. החיים ברחוב היו חיים מאוד קשים. זה חיים שאף ילד לא צריך לחיות.
To be homeless in a young age, it's very lonely. When I was 14 years old, I was living in the streets. I slept in benches and ate from garbage with other children that didn't have a home. It was something that I couldn't forget. In the age of 20, I opened my home to serve dinner to children, teenagers, and people that didn't have any place to eat. Before I knew it, I set a place for all these children to sleep in my own home. That was more than 30 years ago. Now we have 2 homes. We provide temporary home and long-term support for children at risk. My goal is that every child that comes through this door will feel at home. They will feel so secure and so happy.
This is my children, this is my life.
We are there for them 24/7. כאב לך שאמא שלך לא הגיעה לה... גם אם היא לא הגיעה, את יודעת, בסופו של דבר זה דברים שהיא צריכה להתמודד מול עצמה.
באמת אתה המשפחה שלי. זה חשוב יותר מהכל.
כשהגעתי לשנתי לימדו אותי שאני יכולה להשיג כל דבר.
תגידי, איך עבר השבוע?
תמיד רציתי לסיים לימודים, ופשוט הגשימו לי את החלום. ופתאום אני רואה מכתב ענק מהשנתי, וכתוב שם כמה אתם גאים בי וכמה אתם אוהבים אותי, ואז כאילו אני הבנתי באמת כמה אתם איתי, בכל מצב. השנתי זה לא סתם קורת גג, זה המשפחה שלי.
I didn't have a family, neither these kids. So I created a cosmic family. I know exactly what they're going through. I want all these children to see that there is always light in the dark. We can conquer it.
Fire goats. Sounds like goats that breathe fire. But these are more like fire-fighting goats. Smokey the Bear might have said only you can prevent forest fires. But these animals can help too. They naturally clear out flammable undergrowth in Anaheim, California by eating it. The city fire department uses about 175 goats. They help patrol 27 acres of vegetation with their teeth, leaving little behind for a potential fire to chew on, taking the bite out of danger. So maybe they don't actually breathe fire, but as long as they keep their chins up and the undergrowth undergrown, residents probably won't mind being goaded into reaching safety goats by employing these Goat 2 weapons in the battle against blazes. I'm Carl Azus for CNN 10.